I am Shadow, and I am your big brother, Yonaka.
Right then.
Honestly, after the last chapter, I felt this was a necessary reference to make.
You mean unnecessary?
Necessary and necessary, potato, mash. Anyway, speaking of which, one of these days we actually have to get back to our good old friend Mogeko to play his only rated E for everyone game.
Oh gosh, that one.
Honestly, I just want to see if he fails miserably at making a E-rated game and it just turns out to be R-rated like every other game he made. Because that sounds like an experience.
Yes, it definitely would do.
Anyway, so Shadow the Big Brother, he took over the story, much like the New World Order took over WCW, and he completely ruined the story, much like the NWO did with WCW.
Because it was cool and edgy and such.
Yep, and the novelty wore off pretty soon.
And then went down to hell.
Yes. So now we are on chapter 7, and let's see how lower we can get before we start actually, going so low that we emerge from the other side of the continent and we are on the surface again.
Are you kidding? We could probably go so low we would become ashes in the core of the earth and then be flung into outer space.
Nah, Shadow is too cool for the center of the earth. He just gets there, he cools everything down with his coolness.
Yeah, and he's like, you call this the hottest place?
I'm too cool to school.
Anyway, let's just... I think we should get on with this.
Alright, so chapter 7. Oof. Friday morning, around noon. 2 days before Project Doomsday.
We'll play the little sound effect in Majora's Mask every time. 3 days till destruction of the planet or something.
I don't think so. There are oh gosh. For this, I'm going to try and use the voice you hear at the beginning of every episode of Berserk.
Alright.
There are things in this world that still defy the logical thought. Unexplained mysteries, myths, and legends that seem to slip from the gunning grips of rationality. I don't know if it's the right voice, but this is how I remember it.
I never even watched it at all.
Why would you watch it when you can read the manga?
These snobs.
Chaos itself was obviously one of these charades. Wait, Chaos was a charade?
When was he a charade? When did they play charades?
But I just spent the first 6 chapters saying that Chaos is the most important thing ever, and now it's a charade?
Shh.
Go to hell!
Go to hell, me, apparently.
The idea of infinite invisible energy lines spread upon the whole of the universe, of raw, primal energies that could be capable to decide things like the fate of entire worlds, or just the spot where a fly would fall dead. Ooh, so profound, so deep.
Yes.
It was a concept that terrorized many religious men. and caught the greedy interests of many others, leading them into their own demise. If life is made by Amph for chaos...
I have no idea what you're trying to say here at all.
Amph for chaos? What?
I can only assume you meant to say "and," but it still wouldn't make sense anyway.
Dan, are we a part of it? Are we all made of chaos? Even a single fragment of it? Because chaos is like the mana energy in the Tales of series. Apparently. Or the magic in Equestria. There were beings capable of controlling it. There were gods. This is all pointless. That pretty much mirrors my thought.
Yeah, that summarized that entire opening sequence.
He wasn't really fond for ancient theories and all that mambo-jumbo. Mambo? He only believed in facts. Okay. It was a fact that the primal forces of chaos could be controlled, even just a little bit of them. It was a fact that there were people who had special gifts and powers since their birth.
Yeah.
And it was a fact that he envied them.
I think I should say this now that all the facts have been laid out, but every time Madhog said fact, like really loud, it's because he capitalized them in the story.
Honestly, I think at this point it's obvious. He would never admit it, but he envied them. All of the living natural beings. Can you get a wild guess as to whom we're talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Could be Shadow of all people.
It is.
Oh, how could I have not known it was him?
Well, it cannot possibly be Knuckles. We all know what he thinks about thoughts.
Yes, we all know how he feels about the facts! He punches them.
Oh, man. That's why he was fascinated by nature. I don't see Shadow as a tree hugger, but you never know.
Yeah.
A little blue bird flied near to him. The little feral creature. Well, it's a wild creature, but I don't know feral.
Yeah, feral's kind of a bit different.
Had curiosity imprinted in its DNA. Sure, why not? It was a flicky bird. You know, from Sonic 3D, Sega Saturn.
Yeah, the 3D blast thing.
Yeah, that thing. It's a thing, alright.
Yes, it was definitely something.
A new species discovered by some scientist a few hundred years ago. A peculiar descendant of the common pigeon. It's a new type of Pokemon. By the way, we also established last time that Blaze is a new type of Pokemon. She is the Charming Cat.
Yes.
Oh, brother. He was observing it with secret admiration. He always wondered if nature was an entity of her own. That millenniums of evolution, of entire species and extinction of others, were the result of a bigger scheme. He dismissed the thought. Yes, good for you.
Yes.
It was too irrational, but then again, this whole world was too.
So he's having a philosophical moment here by himself.
Well, you know, he stands around with his eyes closed, his arms crossed, all day long. He must be thinking of something. Or maybe he's just sleeping.
I was saying about that pink hedgehog last chapter, but
Let's not.
Let's not poke that dead body with a stick.
No, we will have the chance to poke that dead body and do unnameable things to it. The next chapter.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Chaos. This unknown. Okay, is this the name of your autobiography?
It sounds like
The-
he's advertising it.
The bird flied away and got back to its home. The bird flew away and got back to its home.
Yes, he should have said that.
Right then. Shadow sighed. Sometimes he wished that things were as easy for him as that little flicky. The ultimate life form! That's how he called himself. Humble.
Mm-hmm.
That's how others called him. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
A title that was more of a curse for him than anything. I'm so complicated. That totally justifies my almost raping a 12-year-old's girl.
Can we again?
Yeah, but that happened. We cannot.
No, we cannot ignore it.
We cannot unsee that.
Well, unimagine it in this case.
Yes, Tavar, that was meant.
That was meant.
Sure, he had great powers and great responsibilities. I mean, physical strengths. But he knew that, unlike others, they weren't birth gifted.
Birth gifted again.
That is such a obnoxious thing to say out loud. Such an obtuse word combination there.
Yeah.
Or at least not in the conventional way. The natural way. That would be the conventional way.
Yeah.
And then there was this fox. This child, this kid, a young victim of the war against the Eggman Empire, just like others. And yet, a unique being. He was a two-tailed kitsune, the only one in all of Mobius, for all we know. And he could actually use his two appendages to fly and gain speed, which still makes no sense, but...
But it didn't make sense in the Sonic canon anyway, to begin with.
Yes. Do you realize how many people had this argument before us?
Yes.
Okay. A naturally gifted fighter.
That's debatable.
Yes, he still needed training. Then again, on instincts alone, he was able to smash a few badniks. And perhaps something more. And the question came again. Did nature have a scheme? Yes, I am plotting world domination as we speak.
Actually, it's a past tense, you said, so had a scheme. So it basically dropped the scheme at some point.
No, it was a scheme, then it put it into action, and we have Shadow.
And they left it alone then afterwards.
It was just a coincidence that right after the arise of the Fugman...
The arise of the Eggman.
Yes, the arise of the Eggman and the abrupt change in the natural habitat. A whole new kind of Vulpine came to this world. Yes, I would say yes, honestly. Because, actually, it's never cleared out, to be honest, if it's a coincidence or it's destiny. Because it's one of those things we can never truly comprehend, because it's so chaos and everything.
And vague.
Yes, yeah, basically that's the justification. It's all chaos, therefore it's all vague and unexplained, and you just have to accept it. Doopy-doopy-doo. Was the young one a chosen one? Today, he would find out, eventually. His head slowly turned in the direction of a sudden noise, and there they were. The Freedom Fighters. You know, I just realized that Shadow is basically shoehorning himself in every single angle of the story.
Yes, he is.
Repeat after me, just like the NWO. Wow, this parallel is more apt than I thought it would.
Yeah, were you inspired by the NWO at that point?
No, it's something that I noticed only now, and it was just meant to be a joke, but then it escalated, and now it's actually a far more frighteningly accurate parallel than I would ever hope it to be. Oh boy. So the Freedom Fighters have arrived. Each and every one of them was staring at him intently and with passion. Especially a couple of them.
Yeah.
The ladies, specifically.
And maybe one or two guys.
Oh boy. He could very well feel all of their mixed emotions toward him. If Amy has any brains, she would have told the others about her shadowy experience.
I'm guessing no, though.
No, she didn't!
Yeah, I thought as much with you. With 2008 you.
Because freaking hell, victims of rape, or almost victims of rape, never come out because they are afraid of being shamed.
Yeah,
Commentary.
yes, commentary, especially for males.
There was a well-masked nervousness from the light purple cat.
Wasn't very well masked then if he can sense it.
No, because Shadow is a people's person. I cannot say that with a straight face.
Oh my lord. Why'd you say it like that?
Seriousness and concentration from the violet chameleon. Hate and distrust from the red echidna. Fear and insecurity from that pink hedgehog. Right. Shadow smirked at her. Oh, God. He had a good time with her yesterday. For some reason, she interested him. After all, he was still a male.
God damn it!
Well, that didn't take long.
I want to punch the story in the face.
You know, this would work if Shadow were to be a straight-up unredeemable villain. Instead, he has layers, is complicated, in quotation marks, and is ultimately more of an anti-hero than a villain. So you can see the problem there.
Yeah, I mean, when Shadow is not a Deadpool, then you got problems.
Oh, what? You want to see Shadow casually breaking the fourth wall to acknowledge the idiocy of the story itself? Do you know how annoying that would be? Almost as annoying as the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, when Spider-Man acts like Deadpool! Of all people! That's stupid! Stupid! And also incredibly annoying. Seriously, Spider-Man is like the PG version of Deadpool in that cartoon. It's infuriating.
That's just really silly.
And my gosh, does it become old real fast. Oh boy. Oh.
Right, okay,
She wasn't looking very comfortable with that, but he knew that she wouldn't dislike it either, because he's such a people's person.
I'm glad you didn't say, because she was a female. I'm glad you didn't say that.
It's implied.
Still.
I'm
I'm shaking my finger at you.
Which I cannot see, but I'll try to imagine it. Observing their shapes, the crimson-eyed hedgehog could see that they were not normal Mobians. They were all, ellipses. Gifted. Oh, you mean birth gifted?
Well, they didn't say birth gifted, just gifted.
But he wasn't interested in finding their hidden strengths or whatever. Actually, the main object of his speculation seemed to be nowhere in sight. Huh, where is that fox boy? Did he send his friends to do his job or what? Asked the dark hedgehog, which was built like Brock Lesnar, but it turned out to be the Shockmaster.
Yeah. I'm right here.
Shadow looked up and saw his youngest opponent yet, descending from the sky with his two propelled namesakes. Alright everybody, this is the dream match everybody has been wanting to see, but will never get the chance to see in real life. It's Daniel Fox Bryan versus Shadow Lesnar.
And here I thought you were going to say Shadow Dallas Page.
I would like to forget about Shadow Dallas Page. All right. It's you.
Oh, wait, sorry. They're just a crowd.
Said Miles Tails Prower, the youngest hero in Mobius.
We have to hammer this into your head.
Okay. Honestly, I'm imagining him entering the arena, the quote-unquote arena, descending from a ceiling like Shawn Michaels did at WrestleMania 12. You know?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Huh. Very well. You remember our bargain, don't you? Bargain?
Yeah, deal.
Yes, but bargain makes it sound like he has 20% off of the price from this deal.
I'll be knocking 20% off Cosmo.
Oh boy. If you win, I'll let your friend leave and reveal my knowledge about the Chaos Emeralds.
And if you win, I'll become your apprentice.
And I will also kill that little plant of yours. Do not forget that. Do not forget about the killing part. The killing part is all that matters.
Okay.
The Vulpine did not forget. He could not. Not a single chance in hell. Oh my gosh. You really want me to sing that, don't you?
Well, we already said it last time, so...
Damn it!
Let's get started.
The youngest added. Practicing. Fine with me. This was it. The battle that would decide the fate of no one but two persons. His and her. What?
So you were deciding the battle between his and her towels.
Oh, ha. Wow. Wow, Devar, you're,
sucking so hard tonight.
Oh, your downtown happy kind of humor really hits the mark there. Is it called Downtown Abbey, by the way?
Yes. I have no idea what to say to that.
Failure was not an option. Not this time. Not again. They entered in their own fighting stances. What or how they were, I'll let you imagine. Lazy,
yes.
And with a blink of an eye, they were gone.
Where? Do you mean they blinked out of existence to go into their own arena?
No, they are having a DBZ style of super fast for the naked eye to see sequence.
Oh, one of those deals.
Yes. Anyway, this chapter is structured in an interesting way, and I use the term interesting very loosely. Basically, it's going to go back and forth between the past of yesterday and the present of right now, of the fight, to basically contextualize everything that's going on prior to the fight, and to give you a sense of the stakes that are indeed at stake in this fight.
Yes.
Let's see if it works.
Alright then, so... I guess I should be taking over for narrative.
Yes! That was an epic yes.
Yes, it was a very epic yes indeed. Okay. The day before... Oh, hell no you don't!
But you don't understand, Knuckles. I must... Okay, I'm voicing Tails for convenience sake.
Yeah, otherwise it'll be me talking to me. No, you don't fucking understand. There is no fucking way in the fucking world that I'm gonna fucking let you fight a fucking genocidal killer machine by your fucking self, and that's fucking final.
Well, Knuckles, he's eating overdrive.
Yeah, he put his fucking foot down.
Yep, and honestly, if I were to be him, I would be just as angry. Honestly, that's a sensible reaction.
Alright.
No, it's not a fucking final. It's my fight, my battle. You're 8 years old!
You idiot! We are a whole. We fight our battles together. Plus, I don't want to live the rest of my years having a stupid child on my conscience.
Yeah, you tell it, Knuckles. Is that so, leader? Is that what was really all about? The fact that I'm a kid? Well, yes, obviously.
Steve.
Yes, instead he responds in ellipsis, aka Steve's. Look, when this conflict began, we were all childs. We were all a guy named the Childs.
This is actually worse because it says we were all childs.
Oh, where are you from?
Yeah, so we all came from childs.
That's even worse. Most of us still are, ellipsis. The point is that we lost our innocence, our right to be just the kids we were supposed to be a long time ago, ellipsis, along with our parents, which were lost not 2-3 days ago, in his case.
You tell it, brother!
Yeah, preach it to the choir.
Suddenly Knuckles felt something in the pit of his stomach. Something that he wasn't really accustomed with.
Indigestion.
Guilt.
Oh, that too.
Which is the same thing.
For him, yes. He punches guilt in the face.
Tails, I know what you mean, but...
You know?
Tails faked a laugh.
Oh, you know. Ha 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 ha. Don't mess with my intelligence.
Tails should say this with a dunce cap on his head right now.
It's funny because he doesn't have any. You can't understand what's happening to me in these days.
Yeah, we can't understand what you're saying.
Because even I can't. You're 8 years old, goddammit.
The red echidna's eyebrows narrowed a little. Why don't you try to explain to me?
Why, no. Why don't you try to explain me? Good luck with that. Okay. He needs to prepare a PowerPoint presentation to present and explain the inner workings of Knuckles, the molar of walls.
Yeah, with little flash animations of it that look stick figurines.
Yeah, we're presenting about the same quality as the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
He simply asked.
It's just, I'm so confused!
You're not the only one!
Tails, you know what I do when I'm confused? I punch things!
I punch walls!
How dare you confuse me? Take this, and that, and this other one! I've always tried to be good in everything. I did, but sometimes I feel so weak and childish. I still think that I still want my mom, Knuckles.
The kid finally said.
This is the first human thing, human and relatable thing he said.
All night.
Old story, really.
Yeah. The echidna let out a deep breath. He knew what the boy meant. This conflict has dramatically changed all their lives.
Nailing that coughing, dun dun dun.
They were all orphans and still miss their long-lost families. That was normal. As it was normal that Tails, who was just 8 and lost his parents not even 4 days ago, needed someone to comfort him, to share his feelings.
I'm so glad Ross is not around at this particular moment.
Yes, because then we'll be having the most awkwardest jokes here.
Yep.
Cosmo was no difference. No difference!
Cosmo was no difference. Okay.
Orphan at very young age. Victim of
wait. Orphan at very young age.
I was thinking about doing that voice for a second, but then I thought, nah, I sound racist. Victim of a war that didn't belong to her. It was no mystery why those two became so linked to each other. Both lost their innocence.
Well, you know, other than the obviously hammer down thematic parallel established from the very first paragraph of the first chapter.
Yeah. Yet, they still wanted to be what they were meant to be. Kids.
Sure. Too bad I cannot write kids to save my life.
Yeah, because you're all thinking about childs.
Ha!
And when they were together, it was like it was like if all the world's problems didn't even exist. There was no Eggman, no robotic armies, no Project Doomsday, and no death.
So basically it's like that episode of Family Guy in which death is injured.
I'm gonna jump off this building!
Yeah, that episode was not too bad. I mean, for Family Guy standards.
Well, later Family Guy standards anyway. Knuckles also understood that Tails, although rightfully being a child in heart, was first of all a soldier, a warrior, a freedom fighter, and also a veteran. Because you can be a veteran when you're 8 years old, apparently.
He's a 4 years veteran.
For that matter, not to mention the sheer dimension of his intellect.
Again, this intellect that doesn't quite exist.
I'm gonna repeat a joke here from a review I said about Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals, but in this context it works. Tails' dimension of intellect makes X-Def look more three-dimensional.
I'm sure under the right context, this joke would be absolutely hysterical.
Yes, it would have been. He also promised to protect this young girl with his own life, and he displayed a level of motivation and courage like no one.
Oh, so close to determination, so close.
Motivation is close enough. Therefore, there was only one thing that the echidna could do. He put one hand on the fox's shoulder and quietly said, "No, Ross."
I was about to say, leave the door open tonight, but because it's there. Come on, it's there. I'm actually understanding Ross's point of view now.
Well, yeah, I thought you would understand it the first time.
Well, yes, but I still despised it.
Because it came from Ross. Okay, let me think now, where was I? Fine, Tails. You get to put the sock on the door tonight. I mean, you'll fight your own battles. You deserve it.
Can I point out the sheer and utter stupidity of this?
Yes, I want to do the same.
So, Knuckles, I understand you want the little kid to grow into a man in his own right, but you're going to send him against the quote-unquote ultimate life form, which is the same as to send Rey Mysterio to fight Brock Lesnar. And not the 2003 Brock Lesnar, the right now Brock Lesnar. Do you see the logical flow with that?
Yes,
You are the only responsible semi-adult in this whole section of the Freedom Fighters. You are responsible for everyone. You are the leader, and he is your youngest member. Under your responsibility is 8, is growing, is 8.
You could go out and fight a battle where your life is on the line and you get the girl killed.
It doesn't matter how good he is. He's still too young for facing the ultimate life form on his own. Are you kidding me? Not to mention the guy has a freaking gun.
Okay, let's continue.
Jesus, Crimini Christ Chaos Superstar.
Tails was a little surprised by the sudden change in Madhog's tone of voice. I mean, sudden change in the Red One's behavior. But I want you to know continued his leader and mentor, and father figure and lover, and that the militia will always be there for you, no matter the clusterfucks.
That's a great line.
Yes, especially with the type of dramatic reading I just gave it. The kid smiled, and for a mere second, entertained the idea of actually hugging Knuckles.
No, don't do that! You will die!
Yeah, you'll get uppercutted right into the sky.
That would be funny.
Then he fought at the sake of his appendages, and chose not to.
Good choice.
Thanks,
boss.
Sorry, I forgot to call up then. Anytime, he said before adding, Nod!
Oh, you got me there, boss. Oh, such a fresh and original joke.
Wait,
boy.
let me read this next line. He was he.
Yep, he was.
He was he.
He was he. Yep. And that was meant.
That says a lot.
And that was meant.
It's your line next.
Hi, Knuckles.
I can sense the irritation in your voice.
Yeah, it's how we say hey in Italy.
Yes, you said this like 3 times now.
I'll say it for as many times as it is required.
What? Tails felt that he had to ask this question.
Oh no. What do you know about the 7 Chaos Emeralds?
You say it like that again and I'll punch you in the nose.
Okay, so raise your hand if you want to see Knuckles, the mighty molder of wolves, deliver exposition.
Regale Tails, as old as time.
So, do we all agree we want to see Knuckles delivering exposition?
Only if he punches it and swears.
Well, one of those things is going to happen.
You mean he punches it?
No, he swears.
Oh.
Because it's Knuckles, and he was he.
Yes. The Red Warrior's face frowned a little. He had hoped not to talk about them again. Besides the old legends, very little, he responded. Tails' ears lowered a little. There are interesting theories, though. The kid's ears went straight again. You know that they were made by those 3 mages after the coming of the Overlanders, and that these 3 persons were an echidna, a hedgehog, and a kitsune, right? Tails nodded. You also know that only a few people during the course of time were capable of controlling the awesome power of the jewels, right? He nodded again. Curiosity was killing him!
Oh, quick, Knuckles, punch Curiosity!
Knuckles is gonna punch everything by the end of the story, isn't he?
Knuckles. Honestly, Knuckles is the only ray of sunshine in an otherwise gray area.
Also, speaking as my own personal writing style, I would have not had that big exposition dump in the last chapter about the legends and had just Knuckles tell him in this chapter like you're doing right now. But
yeah, that seems like a great idea.
That would be me anyway, because that's what I would have done.
Yeah, it seems a bit redundant.
Yes. Okay, where was I again? Oh yeah. What you certainly don't know, and that's because it's an old echidna charade. Or charade.
I prefer charade.
Okay.
But it is not what I think it meant.
Is that the very people that were able to use the power of the gems, they were all...
Oh, wait. The bar?
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna do it.
Take a deep breath. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Read the rest of this sentence.
They were all birth gifted.
For crying out loud. Oh, God.
I was going to actually do it like that as well until you stopped me. At this statement, Tails' body became aware all of a sudden. There's too many birth-gifted people in the story. Like if he was sensing a predator or something.
Is this how to catch a predator? Is a guy going to come out of the room and just, invite me to sit down and talk?
Sit down. Have a seat. Anyway, it's your line for this next one.
What do you mean, birth gifted?
Well...
Let's actually explain that.
Well, how the fuck can I explain that?
Wow, thank you for that. Real useful. Thanks a lot, you knuckle brain.
This is just the wow. It's like, well, I have the answer, but how the fuck am I supposed to tell you this?
Okay, so here's why I introduced the legend of the Emeralds in the previous chapter and everything else about them in this one.
Yeah?
I didn't want to dump that exposition all at once.
Ah.
Because there is a first part and then there is a second part.
Alright. Okay, let me see that.
This is the part in which we explain, essentially the theory of natural selection according to Knuckles. That sounds so great on paper.
Yeah. It was a genuine dilemma. He wasn't fond with hard explanations.
Yes, he's going to punch explanations in the face. We know that.
Well, I was said something else, but never mind.
Well, I don't know. Just try and tell me, and if you won't understand it, I'll re-explain it to you.
What?
I made a joke because you're dumb. Get it?
Yes. Giggled the dark yellow cub. Ha ha ha. Very funny. Anyway. I got it.
Your head in my grip. Finally.
Shut up! I crush babies with these hands!
By accident, I killed my son.
Oh no! That's awful!
That's dark. Okay, I'm sorry. Please, do go on, Professor Knuckles.
And the easily pissed off the ball.
Okay. This is something that I come up with specifically for this story and this character. It's basically a new adjective, which is a combination of 3 words. Pissed off and able. It becomes pissed offable. Knuckles is a pissed offable guy.
That definitely, it actually sounds like a town name. Well, a city name, like Metropolis or Syntetopolis.
It's a nice name for a town. Unfortunately, it's too long to name my Animal Crossing village with.
Pissed offable?
Yes, that would have been great, but alas, it's not meant to be.
Pissed offable storyteller went on. As I was saying, the individuals who could, somehow, master the power of chaos weren't exactly average Mobians,
Will you just spit it out?
I'm fucking trying to create some suspense here!
Don't you know anything about storytelling? No, apparently. Well, don't do it.
Fine! They were all the result of natural selection. Happy?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is where I reveal the fantastic parallel between the natural selection theory and chaos energy.
This is going to be marvelous.
It is, especially if Knuckles explains it.
The sentence that Knuckles said, or better, yelled, hit the Vulpine's brain like a bullet.
It hurt like a punch. Oh, wait. I think Knuckles is able to yell punches, too.
Yeah, he yells fists of fury.
Oh, boy. Natural selection? You mean that?
Precisely. You know the old theory, right?
Every time that an habitat sustains a change, the species that lives in it evolve in order to better survive in said habitat. That's not how natural selection works!
No, that you got mixed up here. Natural selection and evolution are two different things.
Okay, so natural selection is how animals are able to adapt to the environment, and thus the newborns from said species, they are going to come out in a way that they are able to sustain themselves in the specific environment they are born into. But it's a process that takes many, many generations to properly fulfill itself. I mean, for example, the giraffes, they used to have a really short neck, but in order to reach higher fruits in higher plants, eventually they evolved into the long-necked giraffes we know today. That was the result of natural selection. But the way I wrote it here, I make it sound like, hey, there is a change in the environment. Well, we gotta create a newborn child that's able to, instantly
stand
adapt
up
to the change and all of that. And this is dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
If you want the quicker explanation, play Spore.
Yes, Spore is a great example of what I was talking about.
Except you play God. That's totally ruins it then.
Why do you need Spore when you can play The Sims?
I don't know. Anyway, sort of.
So you're basically saying that the first individuals to present the science of an evolution process also gained the ability to rightfully use the Chaos Emeralds? That is the dumbest thing ever.
Only the first one for every race. Yep.
This seems like an oddly specific and arbitrary requirement. Honestly,
I don't see how the puzzle pieces. I think you gave me two different puzzle pieces from two different box sets.
Yeah, okay. But I am forcing them into a thematic parallel because I say that there is a thematic parallel, and I am the writer, so go together, you pieces of puzzles!
Yeah, you get the hammer. Do.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and this is going to be the central leitmotif of the entire saga.
Okay, let's just see if we can get through this at least.
Natural selection, the ability to adapt to the environmental changes, gaining the power to essentially craft your own destiny, and chaos and everything, and environmental messages, philosophical nonsense, and what have you.
And then you get the money. Sorry, I don't know why. I was thinking of you were saying all that, I was thinking of my twin brother. Anytime he makes a joke, he puts on that silly voice of his where he goes, first you get the environment change, then you get the evolution, then you get chaos, and then you get the money.
Chaos plus natural selection equals profit?
Yeah, that's step by step, but one of them's gone. Like, they have no idea.
Okay, honestly, this is such a Pandora's box I'm about to open. I don't even know how deep the rabbit hole gets after that.
Yeah. Anyway, so, let's go carry on.
Okay, so the first one for every race that presents signs of an evolutionary process, they get to be the Chaos Emeralds older because potatoes.
Science.
Because chaos. And
chaos
whatnot.
Science. Chaos science magic.
Because Ian Malcolm says chaos. Okay. So only the first one for every race. Yep. He says.
Yeah.
Will you give me some examples?
Sure. As far as my race goes, The first one who got the ability to glide with his quills, or the first with giant spiky hands. Important changes like those.
Okay, this makes a little bit more sense, I guess.
Yeah.
At least they are a properly developed and specifically defined ability, which again, it would take in real life various generations to get to the point that they have now, especially in the case of tails, because, first fox scout with 2 tails is just, able to fly immediately.
Because he's birth gifted!
Because he's birth gifted.
Okay, let's carry on.
So there you go. It's just a matter of completely goofing up how natural selection works for the sake of the fantasy story I was writing. Cool. Hey, hi. You know what? Me and you could be next in line. Oh, gee, I wonder if that is going to happen at all.
Oh, yeah. But what? The toothless caster are you talking about? Toothless caster?
It's a swear word, apparently.
It apparently is in your world.
It's a brand new world, after all. Well, I'm the first fox with 2 tails. And you, the first echidna with healing powers, and now, Dan, I think about it, even Blaze could.
Enough! Those are nothing but legends. Life is not a fairy tale, kid. Life is far more hard than that. Now hold still. I'm not yet finished to heal your body. For the second chaos damn time.
Yep.
Taking the Lord's name in vain, Knuckles.
Okay. So, well, chaos is not exactly God.
Yes,
chaos
I know.
is more like everything and everywhere at any given time.
I know, but I'm just saying as a joke.
So, by saying that the 2 tails flying mechanism of tails and say the ability that Blaze has with fire are the result of natural selection, I'm basically implying that in the future there are going to be Mobians capable of doing those things. They eventually will replace all the previous models, so to speak, of Mobians who couldn't do those things. Which means in the distant future we will see an entire race of 2-tailed flying foxes.
And they will not be able to use the chaos energy.
No, because they were not the first ones.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yep. So, okay, so I have really painfully vague rules for this world, but at least they are established now.
And also, it's better than just, I don't know, Sonic asking and forcing it to happen. That's it. I don't know. This is like picking between oranges right now. Whether this is a better idea.
On the other hand, I imagine a future in which the Echidna, proud Spartan warriors, they all have the ability to heal themselves.
They play with chaos.
You know what that means? They could basically punch each other's for every hour of every day of the week. And they would never run out of energy because they just heal each other.
I'm pretty sure they'll run out of something from healing.
Well, they don't need brains, obviously, so...
Tails stood thinking of all these new informations.
Yes, think about the possibilities, an entire world of Sonics. Oh, God.
Oh, no! Were they linked with the powers of the mysterious hedgehog and his sudden interest towards the fox kid? Then he remembered what was really important at the time. Eggman, Cosmo, Project Doomsday, the lives of millions.
And millions! On the line, yes. Well, that exposition dump was surprisingly short and very essential to the point.
Yes, except we elongated it by us talking about it.
Well, honestly, how could you not talk about it?
I guess. His childish interest towards the mystic gems would have to wait. He would eventually find out a little bit more about them when, if he would survive tomorrow. Tails turned his head over the limp body of her friend. Okay. After her trip inside Shadow's soul.
A trip inside Shadow's soul. It sounds like a amusement park attraction.
Yeah, animated by Don Bluth.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Don Bluth, Dragon Slayer, the movie. Oh yes.
I hope it'll be better than the cartoon series.
Well, Don Bluth had nothing to do with the cartoon series.
I know, but still.
By default, it will be better.
Yeah. Okay. Cosmo entered in some kind of trance, only to later become a ferocious seizure attack.
Summarization of the previous chapter.
Mm-hmm. To say that Tails feared for her life would have been euphemistical.
Yes, it's a word that exists, Davar.
Yes, that's why it perplexed me for like 2 seconds.
Why? Because in a story full of terrible childish mistakes, I use a big word?
Yeah, it's like with my immortal...
Don't you dare compare my disasterpiece with my immortal. Don't you even dare.
I was gonna say, it's like the cauldron thing.
No, I know what you're going to reference about that, but don't say it. Don't even draw the comparison. I feel insulted already.
His heart had experienced the most genuine display of terror in recent memories. Not just one memory, all of his memories. After an entire hour of distressful panic, she managed to calm down, and now she was sleeping quietly in Tails' bed.
Again, she's in Tails' bed.
She looks... Oh wait, that's Tails' thoughts.
She looks even more beautiful when asleep. This is not creepy at all.
I want to throw up now. Seriously, I'm just saying that. The young boy blushed at the thought. Young love. Young creepy love. Something that should always be cherished.
Especially in an episode of Baywatch starring Hobie.
Even in DS times. DS time.
Even in Dice times.
Mostly in these times.
Okay.
Wait, what? Even in Dice times, mostly in these times?
This is the moment in which love should be cherished. Especially in these times, you know?
Yeah. And tomorrow...
In Dice times.
And tomorrow, at high noon, he would have proof Shadow to himself and to all
the... No, wait. He would have proof...
He would have proof to Shadow, to himself, and to all the others that Miles Tail Prower was no joke.
I love this. I am no joke.
And then we break off a paragraph to the next one.
Water. Cleanser of the soul.
Nectar of the gods.
No, it's just water.
Nectar of the gods. Okay.
Alright. The fight began. Several kicks and punches were exchanged during the first minutes. Okay, already I have a problem with this.
Why? What was the problem?
Why is Tails on equal ground with Shadow?
All of a sudden, with no training.
Yeah, I mean, he was beat up only yesterday, and what, is he 100% now? After he was re-injured? Tails would try to hit his opponent with some aerial fists and roundhouse kicks, but eventually Shadow would avoid them and kick back to his own. After the first few minutes, it was sadly clear who got the better of the other in close encounters. With a swift punch, Shadow sent Tails over a tree and Dan launched himself in his direction.
This is no good. No good at all. He's faster, stronger, better, more experienced and all over. I mean, and overall, a better fighter. What can I use as my advantage?
I don't know, that big brain of yours that you claim you have? Shadow hit a tree with a side karate chop, almost eradicating it. To be honest, he was aiming at the fox, but he was suddenly disappeared. He was suddenly disappeared in the thick tree forest. Huh, you want to play hide and seek? Well, that's fine by me. The black counterpart folded his hands toward the trees and... Chaos Spear! A series of globes were shot from the hands of the ultimate life form, destroying several trees. The Kitsune was nowhere in sight. You'll have to come out sooner or later.
There's no point in hiding.
Dan the Hedgehog heard a noise right above him. He smirked. Did the cab really think that he could trick him twice? Yes, he did.
You can't trick a saint twice.
Fine. Shadow shot a Chaos Spear in the sky and killed an old woodlog.
What?
Oh! Ninja tactics taught by Aspio. I love this. I don't really love this, but I love this. Before he could even retaliate, a stinging pain found its way on his stomach. A pain by the name of miles per hour.
You need to do 2 paracetamols for that, then call me in the morning.
Thanks to the distraction, the Vulpine didn't hesitate a second and came out from his high-placed hiding spot. He was set on a branch, you know, in brackets. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Ryder.
And shot himself at semi-sonic speed right in the belly of the now outsmarted lifeform. Tails is finally using his noggin.
Yay! The noggin he never
that.
used.
Imaging that.
Oh, I get it. He was saving it for such an occasion.
Yes, he has a bar of his intelligence. It's limited.
Yes, he has to wait for it to charge.
It only replenishes once a day. Shadow's body flew backward for a good 15 meters before landing on Tails' foot. He outran his own shot to do that. And I say this in bracket, again. Then, after his adversary jumped forward for the impact, the Vulpine Wonder flew in the sky for a good 10 feet and... This is again the creepypasta style of writing. You know, giving out precise numbers.
Yes, I know.
A good 10 feet and went down to his enemy like a missile before turning and hitting him with a devastating leg drop in midair. That must look amazing.
I know, my god.
If only they could do that in real life.
No.
That would be so awesome.
I want to see this done.
Well, you know, you can't say I did not have imagination for fighting scene, at least.
Well,
at least this flying leg drop. It sounds cool on paper.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculously cool.
The impact was fairly impressive. After the generated dust was settled, the small crowd of the match could see their idol and fellow Tails standing nearby the small crater.
What can I use as... Oh, wait.
Yes, it's you.
Oh. What can I use as my advantage? My brain and my home field.
Ooh, like a boss! Okay, this is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Using his home field advantage to its fullest potential, tricks and schemes and illusions and all of that. Yes, I think Espio would be proud of that.
Yes, he just slightly smiles with the corner of his mouth, like,
Amy was about to cheer, but then she noticed that the others were deadly serious. And then she understood why. Shadow was standing too, all dusty with some minor scratch. A delighted smirk was visible on his face. Not bad. Let's get serious now. Amy was speechless, which was an habit lately, to disguise resistance. No wonder they call him the ultimate. And once again, she found herself thinking at him in that way.
Thinking at him.
She was basically projecting herself at him with the power of mind.
Right then.
So we have another break in the paragraph, and once again another time shift to the day of yesterday.
The day before. Okay, who is this talking? Espio, can I talk to you for a second? The reptile was in deep meditation, ninja stuff in brackets, when Amy entered his room, so he didn't acknowledge her presence, even when she asked her question. Amy took it as a, sure, why not? You see, there is a certain someone who happened to know another girl that talked to me about her some time ago. We're having this scene.
Yes, we're having this scene. Is this your catchphrase, Davar?
Yes.
We're having this moment. We're having this scene.
We're having this moment. We're having this scene.
We should start selling t-shirts with that on.
If we do, then I need to copyright it so that no one else can use it. And she told me that this certain someone happened to meet a certain someone else in a forest. Espio still unmoving. Amy continued. Then she told me that this someone ended up being molested by that someone else who caught her by surprise without even giving her the time to cry for somebody's help. This someone else had a little fun with her. In brackets, the someone that was caught by this other someone. Close the bracket. But somehow, as far as I've been told, he, and open bracket again, as the certain someone else, close the bracket, has been sweet with her. And I think, or better, this someone who told me thought that she liked it? Amy was blushing a little.
I don't know if I should be horrified or absolutely amused by this one-sided conversation.
I think both at this rate.
Because it is kind of funny, and it's telling a lot about Amy as a character in this story. Apparently she has a kink for that. A very, 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 very dangerous kink at that.
Yes, extremely.
And she's 12, which is way too young to have that kind of kink. In fact, at that age, that kind of kink is called having hormones.
Oh,
you know?
No.
Terrible, terrible hormone-driven fantasies that really wouldn't really apply to a real-life situation in the slightest.
No, it doesn't. I know what you mean, Espio, and I'm agree.
Everybody, listen to this. I'm agree. I'll yell it to the world. I'm agree. I'm glad she's coming out of the closet.
Yes, I'm glad too. Especially to Espio of all people. It's absolutely despicable. Not to mention wrong. But try to understand her. She was a little insecure and depressed. She felt all alone, and he said that she was sweet. That certain someone, of course. That this other someone who knew her told me about. Anyway, the someone else that was molesting her then decided to let her go and said that he would come back. Well, that's not exactly what he said, but he hinted it somehow. What do you think this girl is supposed to do?
Okay, This actually, if it were to be in the hands of a good writer, this might have worked. Let me explain how.
Yeah?
So Amy, all of her life, has always been abandoned by people, which left her in a state in which she becomes absolutely desperate for establishing an emotional link with someone of the romantic side. The problem is her idea of romanticism is completely askewed, and it's most likely determined by essentially fiction, not by real life experience, because she never experienced love, but she longs for it because, or at least she longs for a very, very idealized version of it, which is something that, again, spans from her abandonment issues. And then Shadow comes in her life. He is wanting, he is imposing, is potentially a molester.
He's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy, and she feels attracted to him, even though he's all kinds of wrong and bad news. But again, it links back to her very messed up psychological state because of all the abandonment issues and all of that. Again, this could have worked in the hands of a better writer.
Yeah.
If she was not 12!
That too.
If she were to be, say, 18 or 19 or something like that, it would have worked. Except she's not. So you can see why this is really, really icky.
Yes, extremely.
Oh boy.
Right then. And SPO is still silent, of course.
By the way, I established SPO silence by placing a bunch of ellipses in between Amy's, at this point, monologuing. Yes.
It's babblings right now. Yeah, you're right. If he's been nice of her, in his own way, in brackets, that was still a non-consensual sexual harassment. So she will have to resist him better next time. Thank you, SB. You're a good counselor.
I would like to think that Espio, if he actually, took the time to listen to her words, especially to the non-consensual sexual harassment part,
he would raise his eyebrows at least.
I think a few red alerts would be playing in his head if he cared in the slightest. But nope.
Okay, so let's see what SPO has to think about this. With that said, the Pinky girl left the room. Oh, so this is like rules, whatever number is for female version of Pinky from Pinky in the Brain.
No, it's Pinky because she's pink and she's girly. Hence, Pinky.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a terrible stereotype associated with a nice little color.
I love pink.
Yes, you know who else loves pink?
You?
No, let me repeat the question. You know who else loves pink? Bret the Hitman Hart. Can you say the guy is not a man?
Yeah, he is the man. Also, best of luck with beating that cancer, man.
Yes, good luck with that, man. Good luck.
Yeah, sharpshooter that cancer.
That would be a great match.
Okay, let's just carry on. After a moment, Espio broke his concentration, and for some reason, he found himself with the biggest headache Mobian kind has ever known.
This is kind of funny.
Amy sighed. She wasn't convinced by Espio's words, in quotation marks, for motives that went beyond her comprehension.
Just beyond, not far beyond.
I really wanted to add that, but it wasn't there, so... She wanted to see that mysterious black hedgehog again.
Yes, like I said, romantic issues, abandonment, she's messed up.
Yeah.
She's way messed up. Maybe that's the reason why Shadow, whom I remind you is a people's person, really was interested in her, because he might have actually seen through her self-assured facade, and immediately saw the scared little girl who was afraid of being alone behind said facade, and he's going to exploit that for his own gain. You know, this actually makes for an interesting story in its own right. A terrible, terrible, despicable story starring despicable characters, but one that has actual meat and substance. The opposite of what I'm writing here.
Yeah, it's like...
And I cannot believe I'm finding a rational way to justify 2008 me writing about this.
I say we judge you very harshly right now. Okay.
No, you know, I am saying this because, honestly, compared to another romantic subplot that comes later on in the saga,
Yes.
this right here is actually salvageable.
Yes, I can actually see that in a dark way.
It's not the worst I've written.
Alright. Not only that, she wanted him to make her feel special. She wanted him to be with her.
I guess we are jumping right to the finish line here. That's going a bit too fast, you know what I'm saying? I know he's very fast, but...
Yeah, the Wacky Racers episode just finished like 5 minutes early. Alright. No, what am I thinking? I can't let that jerk, or anyone else for that matter, to play with my feelings again. I won't let him destroy my security.
He will never find my security social number.
Next time, I will fight him. I swear.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
But of course, she was only fooling herself, as usual. And a paragraph break finally.
Okay. Back to the most epic fight of all time. Let's get serious now, yelled the dark speedster. Tails' body was tense, aware, prepared, or so he thought. What he saw next was highly unexpected. Shadow curled into a ball of spines, like a pinhead, in brackets, and started to circling on his spot, gaining speed, waiting. Watching. Finally, he attacked. The spine ball went on the kit at an impressive, almost ridiculous speed. Oh wait, we're about to activate ludicrous speed. That was necessary.
Yes.
Tails side jumped at the very nick of time, narrowly avoiding a lethal impact. Not without a price, though. The rolling pinhead managed to hit his left side, cutting the flesh and leaving a very bad-looking wound. The Vulpine found himself cringing in pain while turning his head in search of his opponent. And to his utter disbelief, Shadow was standing above a bunch of trees, eradicated, slashed trees.
Oh, I need the Tom and Jerry sound effect when Jerry gulps.
Gulp. An appropriate comment indeed. That, my friend, was a spin dash.
Oh, we're in the friend zone right now with him.
Davar.
What? I'm saying they're friends.
The Black Hog said with a grin. You know, Black Hog is quote-unquote clever and everything, but it sounds like he's a black pig.
Yeah.
Now.
Read the next line.
Originality wasn't the key word there.
You're damn straight.
Yep, the spin dash is not original at all. And this...
What?
Is a... Oh no. Oh no.
This will sound ridiculous in narrative context.
And this is a homing attack! Hey. Okay, fans of Sonic will see what I did there, because yes, we have the spin dash from the original games, And then we have the homing attack from the 3D games, which is a thing.
Yes, but still, homing attack.
It doesn't sound particularly threatening.
It's like a move that should not be named.
Shadow jumped in midair and curled in the same ball. Only this time, it was floating in midair. Sonic, time to defy physics.
Sonic, I'll defy physics.
Miles was, well, you can imagine it.
Yeah, no. What am I supposed to imagine? That he is shocked? Is he intrigued? Is he, like, so bewildered that he just can't fathom what he's seeing?
Well, I was right. Apparently you can imagine it.
I imagine 3 things.
Yes, like I said. After a millisecond, the physic defying spine ball of doom. Now that's an original name.
No!
No, it's not.
It's a terrible name.
Yes. Launched itself toward the kitsune, who moved more by fear and conservation instincts than everything else. Dodged at the very last second. But Shadow wasn't finished. Still in his rolling form, rolling.
I was gonna
Okay.
say rolling.
Oh yes, that too. He deviated and went in hot pursuit of his yellow target, so he's like a homing missile, basically.
Yes, which is very obvious from homing attack.
Yep. Which was now spinning his namesakes like mad in the desperate attempt to escape the crazy peanut from hell. Here's another fancy name for that thing.
Screw you!
Yes, and I actually wrote this last part in brackets.
I should write my own bracket here of saying screw you.
Well, use your mind power to imagine that actually being in the story. Might as well, really, at this point.
Yeah.
Suddenly, his enhanced brain came out with an idea. Let's hear this idea.
Yeah,
He jumped in midair and gained altitude. The sphere immediately followed, and then he managed to kick the curled hedgehog right in the spikeless zone.
The spikeless zone?
Is Kister.
Oh.
Figures. Sending it right back in the ground with an ominously thud.
Okay, let's the possibilities of actually hitting the spikeless zone.
Let's actually review the last exchange, because apparently it took all of his enhanced brain to come up with this idea.
Yes, it didn't require his normal brain. He actually had to have his brain enhanced in mid-battle in order to actually come up with this idea.
So he flies up to midair, the ball following him, and then, when the ball is about to hit, the kid just kicks it. And it just so happens to kicks it in the butt, which is the part with no spines.
And the odds of hitting it at that speed is astronomical, to say the least.
And then I add figures, ellipsis, because that was important to add.
Yeah, apparently.
And apparently, Shadow fell to the ground with an ominously thud.
Because it's ominous.
Immediately, Tails tried another falling missile attack on his target, but Shadow came out from the newer crater. They have a nice collection of craters in this area now.
Yeah, I really like that one. The one that has the shape of Tails' face in there.
Newer crater, and heavily punched him in the belly, blocking his descent. The kid was lying on the soil, clenching his stomach and throwing out some blood. The hedgehog,
Throwing out blood.
Yep. He punched him hard. Okay, so basically, Fox Tails McGee just forgot his name for a second. Was just going after him, basically falling on him for a missile attack. And Shadow just extended his punch to use the momentum of the Fox against him. So basically Tails landed to the fist with all the momentum he gained by flying towards him from midair to the ground. You know, come to think of it, it's a surprise and a wonder he did not throw up his entire internal organs.
Yeah, just like in Downfall.
Uh,
Yeah, that woman.
yeah. Realistically, this should have been the end of the fight.
Yeah.
The hedgehog was standing nearby, bruised and overall fairly pissed off. Ha! But was he a pissed-offable guy?
I think he would, but if by saying this line, which I have in my head right now, going, "How dare you kick my wonderful, beautiful ass!" It was so cool.
And now I'm just the one-chick wonder because of you.
Is that the one-chick wonder?
That's just
Tails, yeah. Tails seemed to be a far greater fighter than he previously fought.
I am not finished yet.
So you're not going to put any effort in that. I see.
Okay, I'll do it again for you if you want.
No. It's not important. And more stubborn. In watching this, Blaze was experiencing immense distress. As a matter of fact, she was burning inside. Not a pun.
It is a pun, technically.
I actually specified not a pun right after that.
Yes, but it's never mind. Anyway,
Blaze is the queen of fire puns, whether she intentionally does them or not.
But anyway, I was gonna say, tell me, Madhog, we're not gonna have this one thing happen where basically, yeah, we switch views and then we see what they were doing the day before.
That's exactly what's happening.
I want to say something, but I don't have any words for you.
What's wrong with this approach?
I don't know. Something feels oddly wrong and like unnatural. Like
It's still contextualized in the fight, and because it's something that not only Tails but everyone was preparing themselves for, one way or the other. So it involves everyone. And to see their point of view is supposed to both expand on their characters and also let us know just how they are doing in preparation for the imminent doomsday, which in the long run is supposed to raise the stakes of said imminent doomsday approach. Which would have been fine and dandy if it wasn't written by 2008 me.
Okay, I'll take over from here.
Now,
Since before it's a break. Yes.
Before that, what do you think of this second fighting scene?
It's actually quite a decent fight scene, you know, other than the silly names.
Yes, honestly, I don't think it's as good as the first one. The first one had the, basically, mid-air flying leg drop, which is so cool. This one is all, Tails running from a floating, gravity-defying ball.
Yeah.
It's a bit lame.
Yes, it is lame, but it's. I said it's not bad. That's... Anyway. The day before, flames were Blaze's closest companions, yet they were also her worst enemies. They have caused so much pain in the feline's life to the point that she almost wished her own death.
Well then, this escalated quickly. Oh, no, what am I saying? Oh.
Of course, they wouldn't allow her to escape so easily.
Too easily.
Yeah, too easily. They were always there for her. When she was born, they were there. When she accidentally burned her room, they were there. Apparently they're sentient, these things. When she got mad at her first boyfriend, they were there.
When she was not invited to dance at the school prom, they were also there.
At her first birthday party, while about to blow out the candles on her cake, they were there.
Yes, when she tried to play Five Nights at Freddy's, oh boy, they were there.
When Eggman attacked, when herself and her parents were captured alive by the SWAT bots, when she couldn't contain herself anymore, they were there. And
the flames, they feel what I feel.
And they would kill everybody. That was her tragedy, her curse, the worst things that the flames did to her. They didn't allow her to feel emotions. Oh.
I'm sorry. You seem pretty emotional to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this would have been interesting, with the way it's written.
If it wasn't for the simple fact that my characterization of Blaze is all over the place.
Yeah. She couldn't love. She couldn't hate. She couldn't cry. I think, didn't she cry before at some point? Never mind, maybe I'm remembering wrong. Otherwise, people would die.
Oh, okay, so... Oh, wait, I know. I was actually trying to base Blaze off of that character from Hellboy. That girl with her pyromaniac powers.
Yeah?
She could not openly express emotions such as love because that would kickstart her, flaming abilities and things would burn. So basically Blaze is trying very poorly to contain her emotions, not to openly display a strong emotion. She's trying to act self-assured and essentially ambivalent and trying to mask everything with humor, which is the exact opposite of Raven's personality from Teen Titans.
Yeah.
So yes, this is what I tried to do with Blaze. It did not work, but I tried.
You tried. Wrongly. Okay. Let me try this. Let me say this again. Just for dramatics reasons. Otherwise, people would die. Just like her family did. She was literally burning from the inside of her body and soul, and the pain was unbearable.
See, this is potentially interesting. I mean, this has potential at the very least.
Yes, I was intrigued. I actually said already that the way you wrote this part makes it sound interesting, at least the concept.
If only she wasn't already inconsistently written before.
Yeah.
But yes, so imagine what it's like to having these demonic flames inside of your body that might actually be literally burning you from the inside, and you have to bottle them up because if you release them with the full extent of your emotions, they might actually kill everybody, like they did in the past. Ominous implications are ominous.
Yeah, ominous implications always. Anyway, this is Cosmo, by the way.
Blaze?
She slowly turned her head to look at her unexpected guest. A young, green-haired, flower-dressed, very familiar little girl.
These two have never had a proper exchange up until this point, have they?
Yeah, that's true. Cosmo? What are you doing here in my room?
No. What are you doing here?
Oh, I get you. Cosmo? What are you doing here in my room? Are you feeling any better? Cosmo was standing tall, the cat, that makes no grammatical sense, but okay, with sorrowful yet comprehensive eyes. She sat on Blaze's bed, as in she set herself up like an IKEA furniture. Near the fiery warrior herself, she stared at her eyes with a hurtful expression for a couple of minutes, reading them.
Again, Cosmo, don't just casually invade people's privacy.
Yeah,
like
their private souls. What are you doing? The pyrokinetic queen asked. Tears descended from the younger girl's blue eyes. Tears of sadness. Tears of compassion.
Tears of dew!
Tears of morning dew. Right. Before Blaze could do anything, Cosmo embraced her.
Oh.
The cat was taken by surprise.
Ah! Ah! Get it off me! Get it off me! Ah! What's she doing? Oh, God!
And then she goes to bleach herself. She didn't know what was going on.
Oh, Blaze. I'm so sorry.
I love you. I want you.
You know, I'm actually glad Ross is not around because this had at least the potential to be a sweet moment.
Yes. Anyway, that'll be the last time I say that. She was even more confused now.
I can see it now. The flames that are consuming your very soul.
She was simply astonished. How? How did you...
I have a gift, Blaze. I was birth gifted. Or rather, a curse. Something that I was born with. Hammering down, hammering
Yeah,
down.
I was going to say, you're hammering this point home, that everyone's born with a gift that is a curse.
Well, not everybody, only the special people that are, you know, the chosen ones of natural selection.
That
And
deserve...
they can control chaos energy, and the more I speak about this, the more I feel dumb.
Yeah, especially considering Knuckles seems fine and dandy with his healing powers.
Well, it was a curse for her and for Blaze, so they have something that they can, you know, relate each other with.
Yes. Anyway, something I was born with, you said?
Yep. Something I didn't ask to have. I can look inside other people's souls.
Cosmo replied, still hugging the dumbfounded cat girl.
When I came here and met all of you, I immediately noticed you.
Senpai?
No, I just gave a quick glare at your eyes and I saw the flames.
Blaze was silent. Her gaze was lost on an empty space.
I could see it now. I saw what the flames have done to you. Oh, Blaze, nobody should suffer such torment, such pain, especially not a kind and caring person like you.
And now she was confused again.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry? Kind and caring person? What is this kind and caring you speak of? I know that you didn't trust me the first time we met, and quite frankly, you had all the rights to be suspicious. Especially when I started talking about plants and all and everything.
And talking to
Them
them.
knowing about everyone. But then, you thought that I could do good for Tails, and that's because you cared for him like a good friend should do. Are you sure Cosmo is not writing letters to Princess Celestia?
Celestia is branching out for apprentices.
Ha! He said branching. Ha! That's funny. That's funny. Unintentional comedy. And Blaze the cat.
And Blaze the cat
outside.
was now burning, but not because of the flames. Guilt. She felt tremendously guilty for even considering this sweet little girl as a possible enemy. This stranger that seemed to know her better than herself, which is not creepy in any way. This stranger that seemed to understand her so well, which is not creepy in any way again.
Don't feel guilty. You don't deserve to add any more sorrow to your heart.
Open your heart!
And see that your heart is open. Which is a stupid, stupid line.
The hugging
Where
girl.
are these guys for me? Riding to the open ocean, yes. When it's cold outside and I'm here in the
Okay, let's stop this. Madhog.
There will be no shame. Always I wanna be with you and make believe with you and na whole life.
Okay, the hugging.
You opened up the well, Devar.
God dang you! Should be a well of silence. The hugging.
It's the sound of silence.
Again, it's
I know.
in the lyrics of the song.
I know, but I am adamant about that.
Listen to the damn song again. The hugging girl muttered. Cosmo and Blaze were so similar. They were born with unrequited gifts, and they both suffered, and still suffer, because of that. So similar. So hammering in the similarities. For the first time since forever, Blaze wanted to cry. But she knew she couldn't. Everybody would die if she would let herself go.
You can cry if you want.
Are you crazy?
You know, I would hate to ruin this moment because it's kind of a nice moment, but this whole thing about not being able to cry because it would unleash the flames, it reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Yeah, so Blaze is basically Princess Elise here. Just think about that.
And Princess
Anyway.
Elise was a forgettable character in the first place.
Except you cannot ever forget the human girl that kissed Sonic.
Oh, come on, let's get off. Let's be honest here. That thing was tame as frick.
Yes, but, you know, not even the fact that the game was erased from everyone's memories at the end of it will actually...
What we're talking about again?
Yes.
Okay, stated Cosmo.
No, it's not even the kiss, it's that all awful, shoehorned romance throughout the entire game.
Yes, though surprising Amy didn't have any complaints about it.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest BS.
Anyway,
You can cry if you want,
stated Cosmo. No, I can't.
Yes, you can! I mean, yes, you can. Don't worry. The flames won't hurt us. I won't let them.
Why?
No, how? You should be asking how.
Why and how? Why would you... How would it not... I know what I want to ask, but at the same time it's like... Why do you... How do you know that's going to work? And why do you want this? Are you experimenting?
Let's continue.
Suddenly, the cat girl felt a strange energy coming down through her body. It was so warm and peaceful, so harmonious. She cried. She cried long and loud. She cried freely, and it was beautiful. She had finally released her inner emotions. She could feel again, and all because of the innocence and purity of this young being that was currently hugging her. She was healed. Blaze hugged back the little miracle maker, still crying happily. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, you were missing one. You're welcome, as in, this welcome belongs to you. Because that's how it's written.
Yeah. Tears of joy from both the girls were gently spread in their respective faces. I think you meant were gently spread, but not where.
Oh, yes. Where were they gently spread on their respective faces?
Not on sandwiches, obviously. A few minutes went by before Blaze let a very important topic came out of her head. Cosmo, what happened to you today? Somehow, Cosmo was expecting this. She remembered someone else. Someone really important to her in brackets. Asking her the same question earlier. when she awoke.
And that's the end of that segment. So, Devar, what do you think about this segment?
I can't help but feel the scene would have felt a lot better later for some reason in the story. Something about it seems a bit...
Rushed.
Rushed, and like it should have came...
Premature.
Yeah, like we finally found out the suffering she's going through, and then suddenly, boom, you can have this moment now.
Okay, if I would have to actually rewrite this scene, I would actually cut out all this last part in which she is, quote-unquote healed and she can cry freely, and I would just end the scene with the two of them hugging. I would have not even explained what was going through Blaze's and Cosmo's mind at the time. I would have just let the scene speak for itself.
That sounded like it would have been a better idea.
As it is right now, it is too over-explained, much like everything else in this story, really, and it feels like a cop-out, because we are introduced with a conflict that seemingly gets immediately resolved in the course of the same short segment, which is not good writing. Now, to be fair, knowing what I was going for with both Blaze and Cosmo as characters, this makes sense in retrospect. But as it is right now, if you read it for the first time, it doesn't sound right.
No.
So you know what? This chapter actually gave me the chance to be far more analytical and critical about my old work in ways that I couldn't before, because we were too busy laughing and cringing at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, we're at the break here, so it's a flashback within a flashback.
Okay, no, wait. Technically, this is not a flashback. It's a time shift. You see, the difference between a flashback and a time shift is that basically in a time shift, it's like an alternate montage in which there are two events going on in two different timelines, but one is not directly the flashback of the other, which means you can have flashback inside them.
Okay.
That's how I justify this.
Alright. I'll take it. Begrudgingly. But
so
usually that's a big no-no in writing to me.
Yes, usually it is, and it probably still is, but...
especially if you're Naruto.
Naruto can suck my big, fat pen.
Right, let's carry on. This looks like a dialogue-heavy one.
Where am I?
Cosmo, are you alright?
Please don't scream, Tails. I have a headache.
Whoops, sorry there. You acted strange after Shadow appeared.
Shadow?
Cosmo? What happened to you? Did you see something that scared you?
Ellipsis. She saw a bunch of Steves!
Cosmo, you want to talk about it?
I didn't see anything. I'm fine.
You had a seizure.
Tails, please, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, no problem. The only thing that matters to me is your well-being.
That's very sweet, and by the way, thank you for saving my life. I saw what you did back there. I was aware of all the time. I'm so lucky of having a friend like you.
Oh!
Yeah. You've just been friend-zoned.
The new game show. See how long you can last before you're friend-zoned.
Right.
Yes.
Nobody would watch that.
Be better than Big Brother. Anyway.
That's actually very debatable.
Yeah. A friend.
But how you're going to fight him? Wait. Now you're going to fight him, right?
Yep. I told you. I'd do anything to protect you, didn't I?
Please don't.
What?
You don't know what he's capable of. He has a gun, for Christ's sake. You don't know what he's gone through in all of his life, which is a considerable amount, come to think of it.
And you do?
I could see it in his very soul. That's why I was so scared.
You what?
Do I have to explain this every time that I can read people's soul? I just can't do that, okay? Yes, I also have this ability. Besides talking to the plants, she has to explain this to everyone, every time. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before.
It's okay. I guess. Well, you should rest now.
Promise me you won't face him.
Cosmo. I can't.
Damn it, Tails! I don't want you to get yourself killed, Tails! Especially not for me!
Cosmo, how could you say that?
Steeps.
Sorry. I shouldn't have yelled.
Sigh? Sob?
Cosmo, please don't cry. Look at me. Just look at me. I won't get myself killed.
Promised?
Promised? Yep.
Oh, okay. Pinky promise?
Yes, put a cupcake in my eye. Will you smile now?
Nah.
Oh, yes, you will. It's tickling time.
Oh, hey, hi! Stop it! Stop it! Damn you! Seriously, stop it! I'll kill you! I'll kill you in your sleep!
I'll use the power of my plants from hell to snuff the life out of you.
Please stop!
And now we come back to the past, present,
She's
past.
ticklish. Yes, she's ticklish.
Yes, and that's not in any way weird. Cosmo, are you alright? Asked a concerned Blaze.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't want to talk about it, if you don't mind.
That tickling? Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah.
Not at all. You helped me so much. You saved me, you know.
Well...
She was blushing a little at that remark. Don't say another word. From this moment on, you are my sister!
Yay!
Everyone's making family members out of everybody here.
They only have each other, so might as well.
Yeah. A sister? Did she hear it right? Someone was actually saying, no, declaring that to her.
I've never had a sister.
You have it now. And Blaze hugged an oval, joyful Cosmo.
Boom!
Shakalaka.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
No. Thank you for being here for me. I love you, sis.
I love you too. And that's the sexy way, shabba-da-doo.
Shabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-lon.
Oh, it's a reference to the latest anime by the same guy who created Revolutionary Girl Utena and Mawaro Penguin Drum.
Oh.
It's quite the piece of work, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, Yuri Kumarashi.
Yep, that very painfully obvious allegory about Yuri itself.
Yes.
Do you know you must never give up on love? Well, you must never give up on love. They are sure to repeat that like 20 times in one episode.
Yes, and the... Never mind, that will take a long time to talk about.
I know,
now.
I'm actually trying to coerce Ross to watch it so we can do a podcast about it.
Let me join you as well on that. God dang it, I've seen all that.
With pleasure. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, it's a break now, so your turn now.
Okay.
Madhog needs his spinach.
I am all I am. Thanks to Cosmo's handiwork, Blaze was now able to have a better control over powers in a very unexplained, very vague way.
Yeah.
And free to feel any emotions she wanted to feel.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
this hurts
pretty
me.
much. Okay, we killed the only interesting conflict that she had. So, great job, me.
She got downgraded.
That girl, the one that now she considered a sister, was definitely not just an armless, cute kid, and not only because of her appearance, in brackets, she was a very powerful being. Perhaps even more than she would imagine. And she was yet to uncover her true abilities, foreshadowing everybody. Right now, however, her attention, as well as everyone else's, was focused on the battle between the ultimate life form and the Vulpine Wonder.
This sounds like the worst wrestling match ever.
It's a thing! It's...
Oh my god, the ultimate life form versus the Vulpine Wonder. The Vulpine Wonder win all with the IQ.
And Shadow was winning. Oh. Give up, Fox. You're in no condition to continue. Surrender and become my follower.
Never. I won't give up. I won't give up on love. I made a promise.
Yes, I will never give up on love. On love for a teddy bear that eats humans. Or something along those lines. Tails muttered, remembering very well such thing. Humph! The kid grabbed Shadow's ankle, desperately trying to elevate himself.
Excuse me. This sounds quite wussy right now. I won't surrender. Ultimate lame form.
Oh, burn!
A bunch of people come out now going, oh!
Yeah. Shadow kicked him in the face, and the kitsune flied some meters back.
Oh, I get it now. You're going for this cliche.
Then, Shadow picked out from his squeals his green emerald and shouted, "Chaos!" Cut a huge fist on his left cheek abruptly interrupted the sentence, sending Shadow over a bunch of trees.
Disqualification!
Knuckles have had it. Oh, yes, it is an interference. Oh, we had the confrontation! The much-awaited feud that will blow off at WrestleMania 3400s. Oh, if only.
Yeah.
A very livid shadow came out from the demolished trees. What the hell do you think? What the hell do you think you're doing, you motherfuckers?
No,
Knuckles smirked.
ensuring a fair play. You were about to summon a chaos control with that emerald. That's cheating!
And cheating is no good. The Black One was genuinely surprised, not only for the fact that this echidna seemed to know that Emerald's power, but also because the fist he just received was hurting way more than he thought he would do. He was having balance problems, and his view sight was temporarily confused.
Oh, he's a robot, apparently, this one.
Not to mention the deep bloody wound on his face. Honestly, I'm surprised he still has a face.
Yeah.
Those giant spiked hands were no joke. Not at all. Shadow was mad now. He would not let this dreadlocked freak to interfere with his plans. He was about to launch a chaos spear over his new threat when... something, or rather, someone, I'm having a déjà vu here.
Yeah, I'm having déjà vu too.
Hit him on the right side of his body. The impact was fairly brutal, even for the hedgehog, who collapsed on the ground immediately after. He couldn't believe it. It wasn't possible. How did he learn that technique, and when? It wasn't that historic day that Shadow the Hedgehog, the supreme soldier, felt victim of his own move, applied by someone else. Miles Steele's Prower actually managed to perform a semi-decent spin dash over the surprised Crimson-Eyed Warrior. Well, he can do that in the game.
Yes, he could.
Well, since he doesn't have quills, it's not as devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was absolutely shocked for that. Even Espio. Well, you know, that means something.
Yeah, it does.
And after that last effort, however, Tails fell to the ground, unable to go on. Shadow, on the other hand... Very impressive, young one.
Very impressive, Padawan.
Yes. If you had quills, you would have done a bigger damage, you would.
And yet it makes sense with this voice.
One you have. He just surrendered?
Ah. Okay, I get it.
For the second time in just a few lines, everybody was absolutely shocked. Even Espio. Oh!
Twice!
I break the fourth wall here because, you know, second time in just a few lines.
Yes, I noticed.
Specifically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines.
You weren't watching Gintama at the time, were you, at that point?
No, I wasn't.
I thought you wouldn't, because this would be the kind of joke Gintama would be doing.
But, well, I was not watching it at the time.
Alright.
I won? Yes, we're about as surprised as you are.
Everyone's surprised, even Espio.
Came the weak reply from the amazed Victor. Indeed, I will respect my side of the bargain. 20% off of Cosmos Life. And spare your friend. As for my gem...
Yes?
Yes? By the way, he was still limp on the soil. I thought you might like to know that.
Yeah.
Chaos Control! Screamed Shadow, emerald in hand. And with a flash of green light, both Victor and would-be Victor disappeared into nothingness. Ah.
Yeah.
So this is happening.
Yeah, this is happening.
Knuckles looked back at the others, bewildered. A general, oh fuck!
Oh fuck!
It was a general, oh fuck, that followed.
Oh fuck!
Alright, so we have this very, 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 very small paragraph. I guess you could count it as an epilogue right after that. That goes about like this. The day before, in an undisclosed location. Oh, I know where this is going.
Alright.
I mean, I'll obviously remember it. You're getting softer. Shut up! I know what I'm doing here. The kid has potential, and I want to find out how much exactly. My decisions are not your concern. I'm just warning you, Shadow. Do not forget what happened last time. Do not forget what happened to her. I want Mephiles. As sure as hell, I want. I dearly hope it. Brother?
Brother, is he Hulk Hogan?
No, he is his brother. So Mephiles, from Sonic 06, Shadow's brother in this continuity. And this is how I leave you with this chapter.
Wow.
Huh? Talk about a cliffhanger, huh?
Yes, what a cliffhanger.
So this is the payoff for the kind of format that I decided to adopt for this specific chapter. You know, going back and forth between present time and past time. And we go into the past time one last time just to reveal this amazing notion that will not mean anything to you unless you know who Mephiles is.
I have to say, out of all the things from Sonic 06, Mephiles was an interesting concept in certain cases.
No, it was not interesting as a concept in the slightest. It was interesting because of the performance of his voice actor, really. Because his plan and motivations are about as shallow and idiotic as they can get, but he has a cool boss battle song theme.
That's what I mean. The boss battle in general was the more interesting part, I felt. The abilities. The story, not that good, but abilities-wise, cool. I really like the bit where he goes like, hiding in shadow, literally.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Well, I was actually very much inspired by that particular image of him hiding in shadow for the kind of character I was going for with Mephiles here.
Yeah.
You will see what I mean in the future.
Yeah, but for now,
yes,
we're done.
So, I would like to say that this chapter is a dramatic improvement compared to the last one, but that isn't saying much to begin with.
No, it's like a really, really, really easy thing to do better than the last chapter.
And again, this chapter had the amazing mid-air leg drop attack.
Well, yeah, that's a thing.
Which, of all the gravity-defying moves you could pull off, it definitely sounds like the coolest.
Yeah.
If I say so myself.
Yeah, it does sound cool, though.
Right then, so this has been Chapter 6. Oh, and if you wait for Chapter 7, Chapter 6, Chapter 5.5.
779.
And if you wait a couple of seconds, I will tell you how did I eventually end up titling this chapter.
Oh, yeah, what was the title of this chapter?
I'm actually curious myself, because this seems like a cool chapter. I hope I gave it a cool name.
I bet you didn't.
I probably didn't. Okay. So here's how I actually end up titling this chapter.
And that title is?
Yes, it's a very apt title, if I say so myself.
Yes. So,
Chapter 7, High Noon Showdown with Special Effects. Huh?
I don't know. It seems very meh.
Well, originality isn't the key word here. It has to sound cool.
Yeah. Sound cool.
Well, since we're at it, I'm going to tell you how I actually end up titling Chapter 8, which we're going to tackle next time.
Alright.
So, Chapter 8, it's titled...
Yeah?
The Longest Chapter.
That's it?
Because it literally is the longest chapter of this entire saga that I wrote.
And it's the longest chapter of your life.
Oh, it's going to be life-draining. You can't believe that.
I can imagine.
Right, so, in conclusion, Chapter 7 is better than Chapter 6. Duh.
Yeah.
And Mephiles has been introduced right at the end of this. And Shadow is not shoehorned in every possible storyline, which is good.
Yeah.
But every storyline is still somehow connected with Shadow and Tails right now. So, Booking 101.
Don't have a romantic subplot with Tails and Shadow.
Oh, yes, definitely. If you have the Monster Heel introduce a secret tag team partner, make sure that the revelation of that will be epic. And not just, casually mentioned. Right then. So, this has been Madhog Thy Master.
And I've been Devar Akvaron.
And this has been Dramatis Lectio, we'll be seeing you next time for Chapter 8, whenever that is going to happen, because I think we're going to take a break from this for a little while.
Yeah, so we'll see you. We'll see you whenever in due time.
In a due time, yes.
Yes, in due time. As in Cosmo's tears time.
You know, Vulpine Wonder is not bad for a nickname, but you know what else I could have chosen for a nickname?
What?
For Tails?
What?
The Cosmonaut!
And this is when I click stop on record.
Join the SWO.